Listen to these 10,000 screaming fans, completely deafening the arena with their sheer volume. Then, absolute pin-drop silence. This was the 2026 Mid-Season Invitational Upper Bracket Finals in Daejeon, South Korea. The stakes were a guaranteed spot in the Grand Finals. Playing on their home turf, T1 operated as the undisputed kings of the early game. They were sprinters, built to generate massive leads and completely suffocate their opponents before 14 minutes. Across the stage sat Bilibili Gaming, or BLG. They played like marathoners. They willingly absorbed early damage, ignored gold deficits, and banked everything on chaotic, flawless 5 versus 5 teamfights in the late game. You have a team optimized to end the game before it really starts, facing a team built to survive until the clock runs out. If the sprinters gain their usual early lead, the math dictates that the marathoners should never get a chance to recover. T1's entire strategy hinged on the first 6 minutes. In almost every victory leading up to the finals, they secured the first objective on the map, the Void Grubs, creating an immediate snowball effect. Tracking early advantages, T1 generated an average gold lead of 2,300 by 14 minutes, letting them dictate the map. Compare that to BLG. Their average lead was a mere 100 gold, playing the first half to a dead draw. Knowing this, BLG's head coach Danny drafted compositions specifically designed to act as a brick wall. He selected champions that could safely absorb T1's early aggression without breaking. The execution relied heavily on BLG's jungler, Shun. By tracking T1's early pathing, remaining hyperactive across all 3 lanes, he neutralized T1's jungler, Owner, starving him of early kills. By stalling the first 14 minutes and keeping the gold even, BLG stripped the sprinters of their primary weapon. T1 was dragged into the late game, forced to play the exact style BLG had mastered. This structural clash peaked in Game 5. The series was tied 2-2. T1 had scraped together a tiny gold lead, but it wasn't enough to secure the win outright. As shown on this tactical map, BLG grouped 5 players around the lower right dragon pit. Instead, T1 pivoted, rushing all 5 players to the top left Baron pit. To secure the trade, Faker cast a stone wall across the river, sealing the entrance. However, T1 completely miscalculated their own stats. They simply did not have the raw damage output required to burn down the Baron's health pool before the wall crumbled. As the barrier fell, BLG collapsed from behind. They crashed into the enclosed pit, slaughtered 4 T1 players in seconds, and stole the Baron. BLG forced T1 into a mathematical corner. By baiting them into a damage check they couldn't pass, they shattered T1's methodical discipline right in front of their home crowd. That single sequence decided the series. BLG took the game, winning 3-2, and sent T1 crashing down into the lower bracket to fight for their tournament lives against Furia. The local fans were stunned. The arena became so eerily quiet that online viewers immediately labeled the venue the Daejeon Library. Up on the stage, the contrast was absolute. T1's players stared at their monitors in complete shock, while the BLG roster erupted out of their chairs in a chaotic celebration. A rigid, highly optimized early game sprint is incredibly dangerous, but when it runs into a team willing to absorb the hits and execute flawlessly in the chaos of the late game, the math simply falls apart.